Laura McKenna, it's you.
Hi.
It's so good to see you. Some people kind of figured it out, especially when I
What?
said she's a friend, former coworker, and a she.
Hmm.
Well, let's
Oh,
see.
well, it could have been your wife, though. And you know what? I think that would have been a good guess, too.
Well, we've thought about doing a podcast. We could charge a lot of money for
I
the
think so.
the
I
blue
think
channel
so.
version of that. So this is how it all started, really.
Yeah.
Almost 2.5 years ago, we were introduced and just met via video, just like this. We did the show how long? Nearly like 2.5, 3 months before we ever met in person.
Yeah, I think it was because I started with you that November.
Yep.
And I always remember this because as you all know, I have wanted my whole life to be on jury duty. As you know, I love court TV. And
That's
we
right.
started the show and I was I technically was on jury duty that whole week of the first show that we did together. And I just thought, I don't want to let you down. It's the first week together, but at the same time, at least just like one day, if I'm called in, that would be great. Where most normal people are trying anything to get out of jury duty. Like I'll act crazy
Yeah.
when I go in. I'll say that I'll find everybody guilty or I can't find anybody guilty. And I'm like, please just let me in. So every night before the next show, I would call and they're like, we don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. The whole week was not
Yeah.
needed. So it made for a great first week for us. But I just remember that final day of not being needed. And then they say, and don't worry, because now for 4 years, you'll never get called. And I was like,
Oh.
4 years?
Whoa,
No,
whoa,
put me
whoa,
back in. Put me
whoa.
back in.
Yeah. So it was right
So,
before Thanksgiving. We did it
yeah,
remotely, and then you were here for the Spicer Winterfest at the end of
Winterfest. Yep.
January. That
In
was the first,
January.
wearing your bright orange hunting suit.
Oh, yeah. So
Why have we not
fashionable.
done this sooner?
Um,
It's been
I
6 weeks.
I don't a lot has been going on.
Oh, tell
I
me
think
about it.
for both of us. Yeah. I do want to tell you, I did see your video, like your little teaser video for this
From
chat
yesterday.
coming,
Yeah.
where you're yelling at traffic. And I thought, oh, there's my Tim. There's my Tim. And he has not changed. And I immediately thought, for those of you who have joined the Laura McKenna book club, and I hope that you do, A Man Called Ove, or let me get it in the camera
I
here,
remember you talking about that.
or the movie version, A Man Called Otto. It
Oh,
could have been A Man Called Tim. He just was not available for the auditions that day because he was doing the show with me. So we know now, as you're like,
okay.
slow down. What are you doing?
All
I'm
right.
like, oh yeah, that's Ove. That's our Otto, right?
Get your dog on a leash.
Yeah, yeah. So
I saw
I'm
Otto.
glad that you have not changed
Right.
one bit in the past week
Tom
or weeks.
Hanks, right? That one.
Mhm.
He's such a grumpy old guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yelling at the traphic and
When I'm not on
everything.
camera. I know. Ah, gosh. Well, first of all, Phil Dawson. Phil has gotten huge.
Oh my, he's so big. He's so healthy. As you know, it was a surprise that cat wanders into my parents' backyard. I fall in love instantly. Like there was no, oh, what are we going to do with this cat? I was like, how do I get this cat to move in with me? And then the medical bills started happening that all this stray cat is going to cost a fortune. I could have bought probably 3 purebred cats for the price of what this stray cat ended up costing us, but he's so healthy now and he's huge. He's just gigantic. He'll probably be bombing in here at some point. So
You could have left the show when I did and still had 6-8 grand in your pocket to carry you through until we got full sponsorship. More on that later.
oh,
No,
oh,
but we're
oh.
catching up. You got to see your husband
We
for a
got
few days.
for a few days. Yeah, we got snowed out in January. He did come up around Valentine's Day and stayed for I think 5 days, and now he's back in Ohio. I wish I had an update for you that, oh, we found a house and now we're moving in together, but no, not yet. So I'm still here. He's still there. I'm at that point, we're coming up on March 27th, where
That's
it is our
right.
1 year anniversary. And I don't regret that decision. So I mean, I would like to see him more often.
I miss Linda.
I know.
What has Linda had to say about all of the nonsense of the last 6 weeks from
Linda was
me and us to you? And
very sad. And Linda went through she was actually here at my house back in whatever year that was, right before I joined your show, where I was getting fired. And so she was on the other end of that. And my co-host at the time was calling, and we were both like, why is this happening? What is going on? And so she was here with me when that happened. And when I talked to you the night that happened, immediately I called her and I'm like, you are not going to believe this. Like, why are you not up here? Why are you not up here to help me? And she's like, well, I think I need to be at Tim's, not at your house.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you know what I mean, Mom. And so, yeah, she's been very sad. I mean, I think everybody I have been sad.
Yeah. Remember that night? Stop it.
I know. We're not going to. Why is it saying my battery is low? No, it isn't.
I don't know. Plug it in.
I know. I'm going to have to climb under this desk. I just plugged it in. Why is it not plugged in?
Did you like jiggle it a little bit? Is it plugged into the wall? I don't mean to insult you. Like, I'm like a computer tech person.
As you know,
is the power turned on?
I know. As you know, as an engineer, that's the first question. Did you plug it in? 1 second, I'm going under. Hold on.
All right. Well, she's checking out.
It's a disaster up in here. Okay. I had the wrong cord plugged in. Listen, if all of a sudden we are on again and I'm just a whiz at technology and math and life, I mean, you would go, what happened? So I don't want to scar you for life.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Okay, let's talk. Because I feel like after Monday, you might not be able to. So the 5-6 weeks after I was gone, at least you weren't in the building. How did that go?
Well, and here's the thing of just knowing that happened to you and then feeling that like your days are numbered. I mean, you can't help but feel that. And so it was awful. I mean, I think awful for everybody felt so bad for you. And I just thought, I don't know from one day to the next what is going to happen. And that is a horrible feeling to have. And I think, I mean, so many people, I'm sure that you had this happen to you when I was fired previous to joining your show. So many people reached out afterwards, and it's horrible that so many people have that same experience, that not because you're a bad worker, not because you did anything other than give it your all every day, you just get bought out, new people come in, or even your old management is like, we're just employee number, whatever, cut them. And so many people reached out and shared in that experience, and it's heartbreaking that happens to people. And so I thought I cannot go through this again. Going through it myself was bad enough. Going through it on your behalf was bad enough, and being left wondering what is going on from day to day, that I can't do this. And so I think it all kind of comes back down to those friendships that you make, because the reason you and I even started doing the show together was because of a mutual friend of ours, that while I was going through that, and I knew the firing at my last station was coming. Like, we didn't know the exact date, but we knew a bunch of us were getting fired again, but I didn't know when.
Quite the opposite here.
Right,
everything's fine. We're not changing anything.
And then
I try not to go back there, Laura. I try. Don't drag me back there.
I know. But nicely enough, I was at one of our last events, and your friend and my
Bill.
Friend Bill, coworker Bill, came up, and he was just like, I cannot believe they're going to do this. Like, tell me they're not going to do this. And I'm like, I can't tell you that, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I think he reached out to you even from the event. And I said, you're here with your family, enjoy that. And he's like, no, I have a friend. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to call him. I have to tell him and hopefully hook you guys up. And that's how we ended up.
That's I thought of you immediately, just because it was kind of a similar vibe. I didn't really know the previous show vibe, but you know, he was a little older, and so it was kind of a combo between a friend / brother sister / husband wife vibe occasionally, which I think people who listen to our show would say, that about depending on the topic.
I hope so. And so then When I visited for an event a couple trips ago, I think, I met one of your former co-hosts, and just we casually went out for appetizers and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
hit it off. And lo and behold, again, through mutual friendships and mutual luck from bad luck, and I guess that I don't even know how to explain, like,
This is my live feed. I don't have to tiptoe around anybody or any station. Dan Shell, still a friend. In fact, he was the first one I had beers with after that letting go. The
yeah.
very next night, Dan and I had beers, and that's always scandalous. Oh, the two morning guys are out together. We're friends. How about when it was the two morning guys and his former partner Amy, who chose to leave?
Mhm.
So, aha, wait a minute. There's this opening here. So in case you haven't caught on to where this is going yet for Laura, I'd like to though talk about the back alleys and thoroughfares and
Somehow.
U-turns we took to get there.
Yeah.
So a radio friend of mine from long ago, we worked in Fargo. He ended up working at Sirius XM. He was one of the
Mhm.
first to call me after all of this, but he calls and says, "Tim, there's some guy in radio there in your market who said we're friends." He says, "I don't remember him, but he says we're friends, and we are Facebook friends." So, and he got a hold of me to get a hold of you
Mhm.
to get Laura's contact information. I'm like, is this junior high? Like, what? Of course, you do have a kind of a private radio persona page, so
Mhm.
I can see, but I'm like,
And I'm terrible at checking messages. As you well know, I'm
well, apparently me
the
too,
worst at it.
because this radio programmer said tried to get a hold of you right away that first day, and you didn't get back. I'm like, I found it like last week
Mhm.
in my messenger. We weren't friends, so you know where those get stuck in another
Yeah, it's like
page of requests.
another whole other full I don't know.
I would not be exaggerating to say I had 8,000 messages.
Oh, I believe it.
Well, you're trying to get a hold of you, but when you try
It's
again, say,
buried somewhere.
in any case, here's what I thought. All right, I'll give you Laura's information, but
But
wait,
I'm
if I'm gonna,
charging you for it.
yeah,
No. Is
well,
that what you said?
no,
But I don't have a job right now, so that's gonna be $29.99, and
yes. So I
if
charge him
you
30
order
bucks.
now, I'll even toss in a free gift.
Yeah, no, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring you in. I'm gonna message him, but I'm gonna add this. Okay, I know your gal Amy is leaving, and Dan and Amy, I thought were a great team.
Mhm.
Uh, and I've had beers with both of them. You want to talk about scandal in the public? Oh, the morning shows. What are they talking about? I said, look, I'm just going to toss this out there. Two of my favorite shows last 29 years have been Tim and Dan and Tim and Laura. What if you did Dan, Laura, Tim, all whatever order, it doesn't matter. All equals the Laura, Tim, and Dan, Laura, Dan, and Tim. And because I know Dan really well,
Mhm.
I know how he ticks. He knows how I tick. I know you really well. How you tick. So, and you had met. You weren't complete strangers. Like, figure that we could hit the ground running on day one, and then all of these thousands of people from my video were saying, "We'll follow you. Where are you going to end up? Think of them coming to your station, and maybe even some clients." And they said, "Well, yeah, you've given us something to think about here. So could this happen?" But they've got, I keep calling him comedian guy, cruise ship comedian guy, Fred.
Fred. Fred is his name, yeah.
When I tuned in that week, he was literally on a cruise ship.
Yeah, what
Uh,
I'm like, how do you? Because I don't really have to be anywhere, like,
oh, no, oh, I see. I'll
maybe I
join
need to
you if
maybe
I can
that's
go
where
back.
Alex and I finally merge households on a
Yes,
boat. Oh.
yes. So anyway, I'll be honest, a little judgmental. I'm like, well, okay, he's a comedian. They met on their they do a comedy show, I think twice a year.
Yeah, a comedy tour.
And the word was that he's going to be on to promote the tour, and then 2 weeks went by, and then 2 months went by, and he's still there. So I thought, well, he was just kind of temporary anyway. So maybe you'd consider this would be a coup. All three of us. Oh my gosh. And we would just, first of all, open up the phones. We'd have 2 weeks of prep, just letting people talk. But again, I don't want to cause any trouble here. I could mute you here if you want. The comedian and the head of stations are good friends from back in Fargo. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I get that would be uncomfortable. Yet I still thought, I think that would have been really good for their business, but it's not happening. But you are on board starting Monday? This Monday.
Yes. So
You
actually,
and Dan. Can we just talk about the irony here? I lose my job, and then you and another former coworker now have a brand new show across town. I don't know what to think about that.
But I go back to just the, like, you compared it to passing notes in elementary school. Can you give so and so a note and see if she likes it? It gets her. And when you told me about that, I said, well, I'm pretty much expecting to get fired any day again, and I can't live like this anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna circle yes, and then I'm gonna hand that back to you. I'm gonna first fold it into the origami, like thing. Although I've never in my 40 years learned how to fold that. I have no idea. That's magic right there.
So in that analogy, then I was going to deliver your thing that said you're interested in a date, and I opened one up and said, I'm interested in dating all y'all. And then put it back.
Boop. Yeah.
And then they're like, boop, 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 boop. I'm like, oh, wait. No, I'm really we're interested in dating one, and that's going to be Laura. So that's a perfect analogy. So yeah, I mean, I'm a mix of course, I'm happy for you, and I love Dan to this day, but it's like, what the?
Well, here is my thought is, I mean, you know me, I always have 1,000 jobs at one time. So, I mean, probably not too busy. We could do more of this sometime, you know? Oh, are you too busy now? Like no, what are you?
I don't see them liking that thought. Oh, then you go and then do a thing with, here's one instance that almost happened. Okay. Look, they also said, well, wait, now we've got a station in Montevideo where I worked 100 years ago, and then one in Hutchinson to voice track. Does everybody know what that is? Like, it sounds like you're live, but it's all kind of pre-recorded. That's voice tracking. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I turned those down. If I had been a part of that group somehow, I think it'd have been more comfortable to do this and cross promote your show, the show in Hutch or Montevideo. I think they'd have been more open to that than you doing this on the side. This is almost like you're dating now. You shouldn't be seeing Tim even as I don't trust that he's just a friend.
There's going to be more note passing.
I know.
So do you? I mean, are you up to something? I feel like. Can you tell us? Inquiring. That was Phil Dawson. I don't know if you just heard him. He's like, let me wake up and find out.
So here's the deal. I've been doing a lot of odds and ends.
Okay.
I've amped up my involvement in the church organ playing, directing sound. I'm going to do a podcast with their pastors who are young and fun and cool. And I think that's going to be fun because I get to play the non-clerical guy and just ask stupid questions, which I'm good at.
I like that kind of job. I'm like, I got a lot of stupid questions for you. Get ready. Here we go. How much time do we have?
That, and I helped the charter school Dream Technical Academy set up a podcast studio and did some training on that. I've been getting people asking, could you help me edit some video, help with a podcast, a lot of podcast talk. And that's cool. I could do that all day long. Right away, my friend and mentor, John, said, you need a board of directors for Tim, meaning your wife, Laura, and then this friend, Greg, who got in between you dating K95 for crying out loud, and a couple other close friends and in-laws to call upon them, say, I'm thinking of doing this, or I'm thinking of posting that, or teasing this. What do you think?
Uh-huh.
And right now I'm at a little impasse with the head of my board being my wife, because there is a thing. And I've been telling a few people around town, have you found the thing? I'm like, I found a thing. Yes.
That requires some training for the thing?
You could say that.
I'm just going to tell everybody.
No,
he's going to be an assassin. He's training to be an assassin. That's it. I know it.
Not an assassin.
Okay.
Try again.
Immediately I go to murder, of course. He's going to be, I know you started out in college for teaching, but I don't think you're going to go, I don't think you're going to do that. I think you're going back to be a college professor in music.
No, there's not enough time left for that.
Okay.
Although I think I did talk about how my daughter reached out, because she's now at UND admissions, big shot.
Yeah.
You should send us your transcript from Concordia and we'll see what we can do for you.
That was from your daughter?
Katie. Hey, have a good day at school. And I did. And it turns out it wouldn't take very long to complete a general studies degree to be able to at least substitute teach. I don't think I wouldn't go for the full teaching because of these other things, my creative stuff and the videos and all that cool stuff and podcasts. This thing that's probably at best, I see no money for 6-7 months.
Oh,
because you're right. There's some training. That would be if I win the gold medal in the Paris
Olympics. That's what you're training for.
I got these new knees.
No, okay. I was gonna say. I mean, I appreciate your walking and your exercising and your physical therapy that you have come through with flying colors. But yeah, maybe the Olympics is a little bit much.
So my wife says, wait until that thing, the training's over, that thing is done. I'm saying I want to do it now because I don't know. I'm just sensing, and maybe I'm overthinking this. People who've been following, like, okay, we're now 6-8 weeks. There's no word. Is he just sitting on the couch in his jammies and the wiener dogs?
I mean,
and I'm not.
No, I can tell you. You're like, I have this. I'm going to, and this, and.
Did I show you my calendar from the last month?
I'm like, that would make me insane.
That's so I've been very busy. Some of it is making money, and by the way, the online tip jar, as you call it, mailbox money.
Yeah,
right there.
There it is. There it is.
You know, whatever you got, because we're at a point where I have no regular known income for at least 6 more months. So right now I need to get a hold of the rest of the board. I know where my wife stands. I'm going to have to get a hold of you, Greg, John, Tom, Jill. That's my board, and I want their opinion. Should I say it right now? This is what I'm going to do. There is one more element to that, is I am meeting with probably the last radio group I'm going to meet with today. I met with them right away, early on. I don't remember if I talked about it. This is a group that even former owner Steve Linder, he's like, that's one of the great remaining radio groups that's got a great culture, a great way of doing business. There's nothing really concrete there right now, but I just want to have a talk with their program. Again, the voice tracking thing, or writing and producing commercials, anything. I'm not going to move. And I don't know if they'd be into doing a remote show like we've done, but we're going to chat. I don't have any expectations or really even any high hopes, but like I said, that will probably be the last, because the thing is not radio. The thing in 6 months, not radio. I fear the corporate culture is consuming it. They're consuming themselves from the inside out, and It's sad and it's frustrating. I'm like, I might want to even just distance myself. Unless this thing works out this afternoon. I'm like, I'll be all behind.
I mean, don't count it. I think go back 2 months ago. What are we in? March?
6-7 weeks.
Yeah, this has been the longest couple months of our lives. I think you don't know when a good opportunity is going to fall into your lap, literally. So don't count it out, I would say. I mean, run it by your board of directors for sure. We will tell you what to decide on everything in life, but you just don't know.
Again, I didn't want to pull at you at first because I knew you needed all these jobs, but I'm like, Laura, bail, let's go. Let's do this like daily. But I waited away. I almost regret not pulling harder sooner, but I'm being honest. This is my show.
Yeah, this is yours. I'm just the first.
I should have said, Laura, bail. I alluded. I know.
Is this going to be the first guest of many?
I don't know. I got to feel it out. I did a post the other day. I'm like, okay, I got all these people saying, do a podcast, do live video. We'll follow you. And then I'm like, I appreciate that. Will you, though? Will you really? Yeah. I think there would be a good bunch that would. Here's the thing. Is that going to pay the bills? It'd be a whole ton of fun, but I do need income. I think that we could have easily gotten sponsorship. Also, the tip jar. In fact, I just thought of something.
Oh, no, wait, over here.
Right there.
There.
Here's the thing. You could do $1. You can do $3. Some have done $15, $25. I've had some $100 tips like on the piano stuff. I'm like, I got to get another piano thing going here. Stat. But here, I just thought of something. All these thousands of people, I would say it's averaged out now, probably 5 to 10,000 people per any of my videos that I do. If I could rally the troops, if we got 10,000 people to give $1 or $2, we'd have $10,000 to $20,000. If I could make that happen this weekend, would you bail on this new thing on Monday?
Well, I can't do that, but
what do you mean? You're out.
I mean,
goodbye.
For 1,000 jobs. Oh, you are kicking me off. I'm not too busy for 1,000 jobs, as you well know, because I am still marrying people, and I just hosted another murder mystery on Friday night. And that was fun. So
I'm going to be your board of directors here and say, I don't see a radio station wanting you to sideline with me. It's like you're seeing a side dude.
You don't know. All of a sudden,
I guess
pops on. Fred pops on.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love it if
you don't
Dan.
know. You don't know.
Oh, let's do another one I'll promote your show.
Yeah.
Get Dan. I can get like 6 people on here at a time. Let's do it.
This is all just.
So again, you're telling me there's a chance.
You never know. You just never know.
Now, the thing is, what would happen if people donated $1 and then we missed it? You know, we only got like $9,000.
You know what? I also want to say that's the story of my life, so I'm not even going to think those kind of thoughts. Like, don't even think
that goes to the house.
No,
I don't. You don't have to do that. But better wrap this up, I suppose.
Why?
People
what
don't
else? What do you have going on today?
Oh, let me tell you. I got to go meet this group.
Oh, yeah. You're meeting. Okay.
There've been days I've telling people we talk almost every day, although that's starting to. I know you're busy and all, but it's kind of tapered off this week. I dislike strongly everything that has gone down in the last 6 weeks, especially this.
Oh, don't. Oh.
So I wish you well.
See, this is the bad thing about being not together. And I'm not really a huggy person because I'm weird about germs and everything, but I feel like we never even got to have a last hug.
I know.
And that sucks.
Gone one day. But we've been chatting every day for a while there. Hours, multiple times, texts like we're teenagers. So let me know if we can do this.
And like this, my God. My God.
Pause. Listener Jack said, I hope you start a classic rock radio station. Can't believe there isn't one. Whoa.
Well, you're going to need a lot more money in that tip jar. I'll tell you that right now.
If I get 10,000 people to each give
$1 million.
10,000, I might be able to buy a tower. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I do need to decide. I might keep this going like a Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
And bring people in. And maybe that could include you sometime, Dan, you and Dan. Just people from the community. I consider I got this now, and I'm thinking about that. So if you wouldn't mind still commenting, is that something you would tune in for? Better, are you a business person who might back that with a little sponsorship for the expense of the page and maybe a little lunch money so I don't have to eat bread and water daily? It's not that bad yet.
Not yet.
6 months, 8 maybe.
No, I mean, I hear the paychecks, if you are an assassin or an Olympian, probably pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but yeah.
Per job.
Right.
What I don't know. What do they get now? 100 grand?
I don't know.
50 grand, depending on the status of the individual. What are we talking about? They're going to have video proof. Laura got Tim to admit he was the one.
Yeah.
Get out of here now before I start to ball again. I know you got a big weekend to think about. Good luck Monday. K95, everybody.
Yeah.
Should have been Dan, Laura, and Tim. But I love you both. And yeah, if we could get you both on and not tick off your new bosses, that would be awesome.
They seem very, very nice. And
Okay,
new ownership is sometimes a scary thing, but I really like them so far. And so I'm excited to start with Dan, and I'm excited for just that feeling of uncertainty every single morning to be gone, because that's a horrible feeling to have.
I'll tell you how that feels in 6 to 8 months.
Oh, I can't wait. I want to be back on when you make the big announcement.
Okay. Have fun Monday next week and going forth. I know we're going to chat a lot.
Yeah.
Off camera, off air.
Yes, we will.
Because the friendship is real. Thanks for joining me this morning. We'll see ya. Good luck, Laura.
I love you.
Back at you.